There we go. Okay, I had to hit record on the recording session. Looks like my computer wants to restart too. Wow, what a day. Okay, so before we lose any connection because my computer wants to restart, helping those in trouble. And I want you to look at helping those in trouble, comfort the sad, okay? Do not avoid those who need love. Um, Endure persecution for the sake of justice. Do not complain or speak poorly of others. Speak carefully. Listen to wisdom. And pray for your enemies. Okay? Alright. And so I'm assuming that you guys marked them or highlighted them or something like that as I was going, right? Okay, great. So, now that you have those marked, let's go into chapter 5, listening. It's just barely a page, so I'm going to go on ahead and read it to you guys, okay? The first sentence is the most important, so I really want you to pay attention to it. The first step of humility is to listen without delay. Can anybody tell me what that first sentence means? Any volunteers? I'm going to call on someone. Linnell. Listen to the sentence, the very first sentence. The first step of humility is to listen without delay. What does that mean?
From what I can see, it means that to listen without delay, and part of humility is to not hesitate and put those before yourself instead of yourself. Just having an open ear and humbling yourself and say, okay, I'm open, I can hear you, I have everything down, I can talk, you can talk to me, there's nothing else right now, it's only you. It's without your own personal thoughts right now, you're there for that own person. So that's what it means to me.
Thank you so much, and that is very much on point. So let me expand on that for a little bit. To listen without delay. Okay, many of us, we know that we're in a very busy world. Many of us are in 9 to 5. Many of us are working 7 days a week. Many of us are working many hours, right? And we also have our personal lives going on, and there's just a lot going on, every minute. And within that busy chaos that we call life, someone will interrupt it. Someone will be in need. Someone will either send you a message saying, you can get a text message at any given time, somebody saying, hey, do you have a moment to talk? That messenger might pop up on Facebook and somebody may say, hey, I have a question. Do you have a minute? Do you have a second? Do you have a this? Do you have a that? You will get it quite often. Okay? And as you begin to become leaders in your community, you will get that a lot. It's not to say to drop everything that you're doing immediately. However, acknowledge the person, okay? Tell the person, I see you, I hear you, and give them a time frame. I know that me, myself, personally, several people have reached out to me and they say, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Or, hey, I have an issue going on here. Or, I'd like to discuss something with you. And I'll tell them, give me 5 minutes, give me 15 minutes, give me, whatever. And, or I'll tell them, I'm a little busy right now, but what's up? Especially if it's on Messenger, and this is why I love the century that we live in. Messengers and text messages, those are all wonderful forms of communication when utilized properly. Let's say, for example, Linnell reaches out to me and I'm busy at my day, at work, and Linnell says, hey man, I really need to talk to you about something. Do you have a minute? And I might be really, really busy, and I'll say, it just takes acknowledgement of the person and explaining your situation on your side. And I could just say, you know what, Linnell, I see your message. I'm here. I'm very busy right now, but I really want to help you. So can you tell me what's going on, and maybe I can give you a call in a half hour to an hour? Is that okay with you? And Linnell says, sure. And then he types to me or writes to me whatever is going on. That way I have an understanding. Oh, it might not be something that crucial, in your eyes as the listener, but it may be something very crucial in the eyes of the speaker, in the eyes of the person that's telling you this issue, right? So acknowledge the individual. Tell the person, I'll be with you in half hour. I'll be with you in an hour. And then if you only have 15 minutes, if you only have 30 minutes, whatever time it is that you have to dedicate to them just for that time, give them that time. I know several times people have called me while I'm at work, and fortunately I have the ability to step away from my desk and stuff like that whenever I can, and I'll say, all right, you got 15 minutes, let's talk. You got 20 minutes, let's talk. Or can you wait till my lunch break? We'll chat for a while, And you listen to that person. You let them do the talking. You don't do the talking. Unless you have a very important question to ask that helps you better understand that person's situation. Okay? So, let me continue reading. When we love Christ more than anything else, this becomes our natural reflex. Our reasons for listening may vary. We listen because of the promise we've made to God, or because we dread the hell of only listening to ourselves, or simply because we want to know the glory of the life that's really life. But whatever our immediate reason, listen to this, whatever our immediate reason, listening without delay means we do what we're asked as quickly as if it were a direct request from God. Okay? We are to be servants the same way that we, I hate to say expect, but I'm going to say that. The same way that we expect for our higher powers to listen to us, our saints, our orishas, our gods and goddesses, our spirits that we work with, we too have to have that sense of listening to the people that come to us. Okay? So remember that. The Lord is talking about this kind of good listeners when he says, and this is in Psalms 18:44, if you want to go back and read it, as soon as they heard me, they listened and did what I asked. And again, the Lord says to teachers, whoever listens to you, listens to me. That is in Luke 16. Good listeners are quick to put aside their own concerns. They're not obsessed with what they want, but will lay down their own projects, leaving them unfinished. I want to talk about this for a little bit, okay? Yes, it is good to give the person who needs the ear the attention they need. But at the same time, you cannot leave everything that you're doing unfinished. Again, some of you are working on things at work. Some of you are working on projects at the house. Some of you are busy doing many things in your own life. If your life was 100% dedicated to serving your community, then you can stop what you're doing. Uh-oh. I'm about to restart in 4 minutes, okay? We're going to restart in 4 minutes, and we'll take a 5-minute break so that the computer will be able to upload again. But so let's talk about for the next 5 minutes before we get taken off. Okay? Again, I want to talk about this. uh, they are not obsessed with what they want, but will lay down their own projects, leaving them unfinished. Again, acknowledge the person and tell them, I have 15 minutes, I have whatever. And in that time, you can listen to them. You can hear everything that they have to tell you. And you don't necessarily have to offer advice quickly. You don't have to give them a response right now. If you feel that it is something important that you really want to give them clear advice on, tell them, you know what? I'm listening to your situation, and would you give me just the afternoon to process it? There's a lot going on right now. I have a lot of projects, and I want to answer you and not have anything else in my mind. I want to give you a good answer with a clear mind. Tell them that. Tell them this. How many people here, think about it, how many people here get called on often by people who are telling you their problems, who are telling you their issues? All of you, right? And how many of those people, how many times do those people just come up to you? They don't ask you, hey, do you have a minute? Hey, do you have you could be in the middle of something, you could be writing a report, you can be doing your homework, you can be doing this, you can be doing all sorts of things, and all of a sudden, from nowhere out of left field, bam! This happened, and this is going on, and the person just starts talking, right? What do you do in that situation? What do you do when they just landslide you from nowhere and they just start talking to you and talking to you? Anybody? George. Everybody has an answer. George, go ahead, George.
I try to be understanding, but if it's at a bad time, I just try to let them know I can talk to you, but I need to take care of what I need to take care of right now. What you need to tell me and what we need to talk about is important to me.
Exactly. Acknowledge the individual. When you acknowledge the individual, no matter what is going on, you validate their issue. You validate their problem. That is the first thing that we do as listeners, is we validate the other person's issue. Again, like I said, it may not be the biggest thing to us, but to them, it could be the mountain on their shoulders. And just that little bit of validating, saying, I hear you. It just right now, there's a lot going on, and can we talk about it this afternoon? Can you give me a call this evening? And remember, if you're telling somebody, if I say, Roxana, I hear you, but it's just a busy day. I've got a lot of reports that need to get out. Do you mind if we talk on the phone this evening at 8 o'clock? And Roxana says, yeah. You know what that does? Roxana has been validated in her problem, in her issue, but also it's removed the problem from the front of her mind and has pushed it into the back of her mind, because now she knows there will be somebody to listen to me. There will be somebody to help me get through this later on. It has removed it from the top priority, and it has made it secondary so that she can go about her day as well. Okay? And that's the big thing. Now, if Roxana came and said, oh my God, and if it was a situation of life or death, or someone was in danger, of course we're gonna stop what we're doing, and help that individual. These things happen. But if it's, something where she just needs some advice, the best advice